What up? What up? What up? Another episode of Ball N Biz. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This podcast talking a little bit of ball, a little bit of business. I'm Ryan Henson.
And I'm Jeremy. How you guys doing? Ball N Biz is all about what Ryan said. Ball, because all we do is talk about sports. I'll call him on Mondays and just kind of recap what happened over the weekend in sports-wise. And then, of course, business, because in our young 30s, we're looking to kind of level up as we enter in, as we get older. So ball, because we love ball, and then business, because we're always trying to get our bread up.
So a couple things. We'll just go over a quick news and notes section right now. First thing, obviously, when we're talking about sports, everybody's looking at this college football championship week coming up. Only a handful of games. We're not going to get our usual full slate, but there'll be action-packed. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up later in the show. We're talking about biz, interest rates. They could be going down this month, Germ. That should be good news for a lot of investors. A lot of people want to see that. A lot of people have been talking about the interest rates. They could go down about 1/4 point this month. Inflation's got to stay down. So that's just something we're watching out for right there. When we're talking about interest rates, we're, just going down the quick business notes. Interest rates right now about 4.58%. They could get down to about 4.25%. That could be good news as well.
Market, that's low for these trying times.
See, I told you. But it's the number. As I said, we keeping track of it for you. So obviously that'll be good news for numbers. Investors. We can talk a whole lot more about that and some upcoming, podcasts we have coming up. Another thing, market, when we talk about the stocks, kind of remain the same. They slipped just a little bit, but, it is the beginning of the shopping season too, though. So a lot of people looking to make up some ground in this Q4. That'll be good news. Bitcoin, I know people looking at crypto as well. Bitcoin's at about 95,500. So it's teetering around there. Ethereum, about 3,500, close to 3,600. So that's just the quick news and notes for that. So I know, Jerm, everybody had big Thanksgiving. Everybody's coming off those plans back to reality. Mm-hmm. What'd you do for that? What'd you guys do for the holidays?
Yeah, so went up to Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's where my whole extended family is. So took the wife and the kid up there. It was great. We ate a lot of sweet potato pie and candy yams. Thanksgiving is always a great time, and you never have to feel guilty around Thanksgiving as far as your food intake. So it was great. What did you do?
What were you on, the turkey? You cooked the turkey? What you do?
Oh, no. I ate the turkey. The aunties and uncles cooked the turkey.
Man, you the aunties and uncles, man.
I know. At this rate, I'm gonna be there soon.
No, we just went down to Florida, with the fam. My brother lives down there. Just had a good time. It was interesting because we had an Airbnb on the beach. Just looking around, when you're thinking about it, being an entrepreneur and things like that, you look at things through a different lens. So I was just looking the Airbnb and just got to thinking, it's probably big business for them, even though it's on the beach, it's off season. Still a lot of people over in that area. I'm sure they were raking in money, whoever we gave it to, whoever was running it. And just thinking, Jeremy, I know you're in Airbnbs too. What are some good ways for people to make sure they're maximizing the season? Might not be in season, but still an off season, still money to be made. And what are some good ways just to make sure folks are doing what they need to get that buck year round?
Yeah, I would say Airbnb is the ultimate side hustle because one thing about Airbnb, it kind of automates itself. So once I upload, and so me as an Airbnb host, as you mentioned, I have a few of these, and it's been great because it truly can be passive. So one thing about Airbnb, once you set up your listing and your photos and such like that, everything's automated. So Airbnb has a calendar for you. They collect the payments for you. Those are your two most vital thing in any business, or from an organization standpoint. Airbnb handles all that. So, if they were charging you $200 a night, I promise you that's not what, they're in it to make a profit. Their mortgage payment only might be on average, $60 a night. So especially during the holidays and maybe a big concert coming into town, maybe a big ball game is in town that weekend, of course, they're going to spike those rates up. So what you paid, Ryan, over the weekend for Thanksgiving, let's say you did pay $200 over the weekend per night. I mean, shoot, if you would have booked that on February 12th on a Tuesday, it might have only been $60. So of course
how early out should Airbnb property owners be listing their property? And I don't know if that's a weird question. And how early out should realistically folks looking to be buying or booking an Airbnb, especially on a tight weekend like a Thanksgiving?
Yeah, so from an Airbnb host perspective, I need to spike up my rates as soon as I know something big is happening, a holiday, a big concert. I'm spiking my rates up immediately from the host perspective. On from a guest perspective, as soon as you know you're going somewhere, oh, I'm just gonna wait until 2 weeks, or I'll just wait until a couple weeks before. No, because that's when your rates are going to be that much higher. And of course, we're always talking about how do we get our bread up. Well, we also need to be talking about how to saving coins as well in the same sentence. So that's kind of my tidbit on that.
Booking what is early, as soon as you know, basically.
As soon as you know.
And if you're putting it up, how much, let's just say, how much would you increase your rates percentage wise or anything like that on a busy Thanksgiving
holiday? At least 50% easy, because I know that people are going to be traveling to those. I know people will be traveling in town to visit family. People have family everywhere. So like, this isn't exempt from any market. People have family in Arkansas. They have family in Hawaii. They have family in Indiana. Literally, that's not exempt. A holiday is a holiday nationwide. So yeah.
And do you see, on these bigger weekends or bigger travel seasons like the holiday season, you see an uptick in business overall?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Holidays, concerts. I mean, I'm here in Indianapolis. Taylor Swift just came a month ago. Whoo! My son ate some nice steak that night.
Yeah, I hear that. One thing too, I was looking around at our Airbnb as well. They had some cameras up on the outside. What are some things that you do to make sure you're protecting your property, making sure you're getting the right people in there?
Yeah, so you can have cameras on the exterior. It is illegal to have cameras on the interior. So definitely I have cameras on the exterior as well, just because you want to make sure who is supposed to be in your Airbnb. You want to make sure that everything's taken care of accordingly. Secondly, I have a noise system in there as well. So I just got it from Amazon. It's a little noise monitor, and actually I have an app that's linked to this noise monitor, so I can see noise levels as well within the Airbnb without me even being present. So those are two things that are super key, because you want to make sure that you're not having a lot of parties and stuff in there. So you want to make sure that you're taking those security measures.
And what about like background checks or anything like that? Would you do anything like that?
Yeah, so that's the good thing about Airbnb. They qualify everybody. So you have to. So some people require photo ID. Some people require that they do a whole background check. So you can be as strict as you want to on Airbnb, and Airbnb will take those measures accordingly for you, and you don't even have to do it, because if they don't meet your requirements, they aren't even allowed to book with you, which is awesome.
And do you ever, even if they get past all those Airbnb things, do you ever talk to somebody and like, I don't know, probably not, just to be on the safe side?
Great question. No to locals. If somebody is a local, and you can see where they're from. So if somebody is from Indianapolis, Indiana, which means they're a local here in this market, I can withdraw their booking, because if a local is booking with you, that means they're there for a reason. They need to be there, or they're just trying to throw a party. Period. So I learned that early on. I learned the hard way. Let me tell you, I learned the hard way. I had some locals stay with me, and they completely trashed my place. Cost me, $1,000 just for the damages, and that was not how much I was charging them. So I had to eat that.
And did you get, what did you learn from that? Was there anything you're still doing now, or like, hey, why didn't I do this before? What was that?
Yeah. So what I learned is definitely no locals for sure. Right. And also make sure that my policies are in place from a strict standpoint. So I even have that in my description. If there are any parties or any parties detected, you will be charged $500. If there's any smoking detected, you will be charged an additional $500. If you so happen to leave the key or lose the key, that's an additional $500. So all that partying might cost the guest $3,000. So yeah, that's what I learned. I can get paid from that too. That's what I learned. Let's get our bread up.
No, I hear that. Yeah, Airbnb is definitely big business, those rental things. If you're somebody, just interested, maybe you're just hearing our conversation right now, you're thinking, maybe I should get in the short-term rental game. What are some things they should be doing right now? What are some things they should, at least ideas they should be having in their heads?
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you're putting money away to do these types of things, because at the end of the day, 9-to-5s are great, but that's not what gets us to financial freedom unless you're a extremely high earner. We're talking super specialties like doctors, lawyers, and I'm talking about high-end doctors, high-end lawyers, etc. Outside of, those high-end paying jobs, the way to our financial freedom is going to be investing. It's going to be side hustles. It's going to be doing things that you can do that are automated and as passive as possible. So make sure you're setting aside, 10-15% of your paycheck that you're getting every 2 weeks, just so when that opportunity does present itself, you can hit the ground running.
Yeah. I know one other thing we did this weekend was watching football. Woo! A lot of it. Look, my mom kept asking how long the game's going to be on. I said all day, literally. And they were on all day. I know one of the what was one of the favorite games that you saw? You had any that stick out? Any games?
Yeah, so I know that it was a huge blowout, but I was excited to see, as an Indiana native, I was excited. And my mom went to Indiana University. Coach Sig himself was named Coach of the Year today in the Big Ten. And I love seeing them pitch a shutout. I know they beat Purdue for the old Oaken Bucket. It was 66-0. It was less about the 66 and more about that they pitched a shutout.
Yeah,
that was it for me. That solidified everything that IU has been doing this year.
Should they be in the
playoffs? Say it again.
Should they be in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. They took a loss. They got one loss this year to Ohio State. That's a respectable loss. They should still be in the playoffs for sure, no doubt. Especially after pitching that shutout. Purdue's not a good football team, but to pitch a shutout against any D1 team is impressive. So great way to bounce back on your home turf. So yeah, I'll see Indiana University in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was most excited for that Lone Star Showdown. That Texas, that A&M, boy, they had it going in there. Now, Texas won. I thought they'd win. I did hope A&M would probably put up maybe at least another score. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me something. A lot of the games, I felt like the games during the day all came down to it. All of them came down to it. But then the ones at night, of course, when I get off work, the main gig, man, it was all, they were cool, but they were all in hand. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, dang. But you mentioned Ohio State. Come on, man. What happened with them, bro? They dropped the ball, didn't they?
Man, you take a big L to Michigan again. Ryan Day.
6-5 Michigan.
Ryan Day, you might not have a job next week. Let's just say that. I mean, we've
employed today.
We've given you so many chances, and you continue to lose to Michigan. If there's one school that you need to be consistently beating, it's Michigan. Period.
You know how the rivalries work. You know how the rivalries work in college. The rivalry win is worth 2 wins or 2 losses.
And
save your job or it can cost it.
And this subpar is a friendly way to put this Michigan football team. And I guess the saying goes that you can throw the records out the window when it's rivalry week, and this proved to be the fact. Once again, Michigan with the big win over Ohio State. Ohio State has clearly shown, or let's say Ryan Day has shown that he can't win the big game against Michigan Wolverines. So, and he needs to be packing up his office here in the next 24 hours.
You packing him up?
Packing him up. He's got to go.
You got the boxes in his office waiting for him?
Boxes sealed up, ready to go. We bought you a ticket for your next flight out.
He's not even getting the 8 a.m. meeting with the AD on Monday.
Oh, no. Just boxes need to be packed already. We're out of here.
No, man.
Don't come back to Columbus.
Dang. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know what is probably. You got to win. They had to win that one. I mean, you got to think about it too. He lost last year. Not even to Jim Harbaugh. Remember, Harbaugh was suspended for the game last year. He lost twice to Sharon Moore. Come on, man.
Unacceptable.
Come on, man. Yeah, they got to do a better job now. But let's talk about what happened after the game, though. And it happened after quite frankly, a lot of the games on Saturday.
There was a lot of
bangs, weren't they?
There was a lot of upset people over Thanksgiving weekend, and they were all wearing helmet and shoulder pads.
So just to set up the conversation. So after at least half a dozen games here, I got some of them right here. Ohio State, Michigan, Florida State, North Carolina State, UNC, Arizona State, Arizona. Brawls after the game, all of which started either by a flag or in the case of Arizona State, Arizona, they planted the Triton right at midfield. The away team lost. And then, I mean, you know how it goes. Let's go ahead 100 on 100 and let's figure it out.
Yeah, and as a bonus, we'll even throw Houston Texans versus Jacksonville Jaguars in there as well with the Trevor Lawrence hit, which also was a bench clearing brawl after that hit. So, we have seen a lot of fights, and rivalry week did not disappoint. With the Michigan, they're putting their flag middle of the field. With the Alabama one, my guys, they're blocking 15 yards out of bounds, which caused another fight. And I'm sure all the other ones were about the same. It's, hey, Ryan, we both play D1 football, right? We know that, tempers and feuds can run high, especially when it's your rival in town. So it is what it is. Football's a rough game, and hey, it's a physical game, and sometimes that happens after the whistle.
So were you okay with all of the fighting, the physicality after the whistle? Yes or no?
I don't condone fighting, but I was okay with it in the same breath. I'm probably split 50-50 because I get it. Like, it's a physical game. Yeah. Hey, we're out here battling, especially when it's rivals. Everything's times 10 when you're facing your rivals. So hey, look, I get it. And even from a Trevor Lawrence sliding late.
That's different. I mean, they had to fight him.
Yeah, Texans defender and kind of set the stage for that. Trevor Lawrence breaks the pocket. He's running. He needs a first down, right? He's running. He slid late so he could get the first down. Texans guys running full speed trying to make a play. Defender's at a loss because he doesn't know if he's going to try to truck him. He doesn't know if he's going to try to juke him. So he's running full speed until he sees that slide. Trevor Lawrence slides late. Guy tumbles on top of him. Hits him late. Again, defenders at a loss as they normally are with these with the officiating these days. Trevor takes a big hit, and the entire Jacksonville Jaguars bench did not like that, and both teams fought. Now the Texans defender is suspended 3 games because of it.
Yeah, Azeez Al-Shaair. That was his name, Texans linebacker. Yeah, and that's different. I mean, that's going to start a fight. That's going to start a fight every time. Let me ask you another question, because I didn't have a problem with it at all. I don't even care. Look, y'all get it out your system. Do what you need to do. I get why the team would want to plant a flag, and I get why the other team wouldn't want to plant a flag. Hey, it is what it is. Go ahead and handle your business. Let me ask you another question. Speaking of, because it was the flag planting specifically. I mean, the late hit is what it was. Arizona blocking out of bounds. That's kind of, that what it was. At least that came within the works of the game, whether it was illegal or not. But the flag planting, did you like? Would you ban that? Now, if you're the league commissioners, would you ban that? Yes or no? What do you think?
If I'm the league commissioner, fighting is never good. So from a commissioner standpoint, I would ban flag planting. Now, will that stop? Maybe not. But I would ban it just because that probably will lead to a fight.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't think I'd ban it, but in the case of Ohio State and Michigan, they both schools got fined $100,000. Okay, fine. There probably can be something additional on top of that, maybe a warning, maybe if your team fight twice in a year, there's something. Maybe there's just needs to be more personnel, especially on the big rivalry games. A lot of these are in state, or we know what the deal is. Everybody in the state's watching. Maybe go ahead and double up the police on the field after the game. And make sure all the coaches and all the teams are well aware. You shake your hands, you go back to the locker room. If you're on the field 10 minutes after, if there's some rule, maybe, if you're on the field lingering 10 minutes after, or at least after police have declared it over, got to get out of there. You want to shake hands with your boy, see him in the hallway after. There's something. There's got to be something. I don't want to see him ban flag plant. I mean, maybe it's and within the rules say, hey, coach, don't be doing, maybe that's a team police thing. But to have it policed by the conferences and the leagues, I don't like it. But, it's rivalry. And you know how it is, too. It's the end of the season. Half the team's playing. If you in the case of Michigan, okay, you're not playing in a bowl. Well, I guess they are playing in a bowl game. But, okay, in the case like Florida State, they ain't going in a bowl game. Okay, and then Florida just came and tried to plant your flag. Remember, Florida State, they were trying to cut up grass on the logo last year. It's all petty stuff. But, some of them guys, they're not playing for nothing. It's their last game putting on pads ever. They still got some pent-up aggression and emotion. It's been a long season. We've been programmed to hate these guys wearing that other jersey for 4 years, especially in the past week. Yeah, them some big boys. They're going to want to fight.
Yeah,
so go ahead and get it. Hey, and some of them are saying, ain't nothing you can do to me. As soon as that final whistle blow, game over. I'm off this team. I'm no longer even on the team, even though I got the uniform on. We can go ahead and get it.
That's true. That's
What
true.
you
Get
gonna
it out
tell
the
them
way
now?
now. Let's get it out the way.
Hey, let's go ahead and get it done because we ain't gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was just an interesting week. I like it though. Honestly, I don't care. At least they care. You know, it's passion.
That's true. If you're fighting, you care for sure.
It's
You care a lot,
right? You know,
that's true.
So I love to see that. Let's go ahead and look ahead at some of these other games. We got some other big games coming up. Let me set up championship week for you. And let me tell you, and I want to hear what you like. So Friday, and this isn't all the games, but this is just the big ones. There's three of them on Friday. The two big ones: Mountain West, number 22 UNLV at Boise. AAC championship game, number 17 Tulane. I don't think they're not 17 anymore, but Army's 25. Still two good.
Okay, yep.
Two good teams. So that's Friday. UNLV at Boise, Tulane at Army. Saturday, Big 12 championship, Iowa State at Arizona. That's 18 at 16 in Jerry World. SEC championship, Saturday afternoon. That's number 7 Georgia versus number 3 Texas. You know they do that in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz. You also going to have the Big 10 championship, Penn State at Oregon, number 1 Oregon. That's in Indy. And then finish it off, ACC championship, number 12 Clemson, number 9 SMU in Charlotte. All them games. What do you like? Which one you definitely tuning into, locked in?
Oregon, for sure. Hey, you're number 1. Go ahead and take it home. And you know what? They put the duck here in the canal here in Indianapolis when Oregon comes to town. Go Ducks. That's who I'm locked in on. Let's get it.
Look, I'm going to say something. You know, it's going to sound crazy. It's going to sound crazy. Okay, I'll say this. Who, with the game I'm most interested to see, I'll save what I was going to say for a couple minutes from now. Game I'm most interested to see is going to be Friday night, UNLV at Boise. I think. Hey,
is this for Gentry purposes? Is that why you're interested?
I mean, you're always interested in him, but no, I think UNLV might be able to win. I'm telling you. They've already played once this season, and it was like 27, 24, 29, 24. It was a one possession ball game. And
that's
UNLV,
a hot take right there. UNLV over Boise. That's a hot take.
UNLV was playing right there with them, and Boise, we know we got that running back. And first of all, side note, quick PFL shout out. You know, UNLV quarterback, that Haj Johnson, or he went to Campbell. He's a PFL guy. He got them running Rebels running. Now, they played them tight. You know how it is. You see a team twice, might be a little bit different. We kind of know what they like to do. Boise's defense, look, you know how it is when you got a defense too and a good running back. It's easier. You're out there less. You're more you're well rested, right? Their defense, they give it up points, and UNLV can score them. They got the dual threat quarterback. It's just set up.
We'll see if UNLV can stop the run or at least slow it down.
They got to stop the run. I mean, they only lost by possession last time
because Gentry's getting the rock 35 times.
Oh yeah, and he should. You got to think, when God built the running back, when God said, "I'm gonna bless this earth with a running back," He blessed us with a guy who looked just like him. He's a running back.
Yeah, he is through and through.
Hey, I don't know who bringing him down, and I don't know who catching him if you get behind.
He reminds me of Trent Richardson when he was at Alabama.
Yeah,
they have similar builds, and he reminds me a lot of him.
A load.
Which is a compliment because Trent Richardson was an absolute dog at Alabama.
A dog. So I'm most interested to see how that will go. I can see it getting tight. I can see it being a high passion game. I can see it very close. UNLV might have figured them out. It's been a couple months now since they've seen it, so they got more tape on it. They see what other people have done to maybe keep Gentry a little bit contained. They only, for example, Boise number 11, sure, but they only beat Wyoming, who's not ranked by. It wasn't much. I'd have to go back and look at it. It wasn't much, So there's a chance. There is a chance. So that's what I like. Talking about games from last week. I know you had a couple good tickets. You had any good tickets you want to share?
Yeah. So my main ticket that hit well last week, I'm a big in-game bettor. So I found that those are, I don't want to use the word easy when it comes to betting, but I would call it most efficient for me in my betting style. So I'm an in-game bettor. So I betted that a soccer game, I think it was Spain. No, it was not Spain. It was a soccer game regardless. And I betted that it would be a draw. There was only about 2 minutes left in the soccer game. So I threw that in with the ticket, in-game ticket with the Colts versus Patriots, which was going to win me the bulk of the money. So that was huge. I betted Colts money line, and I betted that the soccer game would come to a draw, and I hit on that. I betted in the first quarter of that Colts-Patriots game. Again, I was watching this game, and I knew that the Colts, Richardson looked like he was figuring some things out, and I just had a great feeling that they would pull out that win. So that won me $150. I'll take it.
Hey, I'll take it too. One big bet I hit was Friday. That Black Friday. Look, y'all was spending money. I was trying to make it. All right. Won about $100 on. I did Brock Bowers over 57.5 receiving yards. Look, he was coming off that tough game versus Denver, where Patrick Surtain kind of had him locked down. Brock Bowers, generational talent at tight end. He blew that out the water, had 140. Jacoby Myers. We know he's over there getting the pill. Look, they slinging the ball a little bit over there in Vegas. They don't have a lot of things they're doing right, but slinging the ball is one of them. He blew that out the water. He was 52.5. That was his line. He did 97. Hit that over. Travis Kelce. We know who the Chiefs offense is going through. There's a lot of guys, a lot of nameless faces, athletes catching the ball. One guy who's going to get the ball, Travis Kelce, is over 52.5. He did 68. With a Chiefs win, I mean, that was a ticket.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, that great ticket. And one thing that I'm looking forward to, my hot bet this week, we got Eagles Panthers. Eagles -12. I'm taking it. Eagles look great. They look great. I'm drinking the Eagles Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Jalen Hurts Kool-Aid. Go Philly, fly high. I'm taking Eagles -12. That's at -110 right now versus the Carolina Panthers.
So here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do Saturday night. First of all, I'm going to be sweating, right? Because I'm nervous. I'm even nervous to say this one out loud. So here's what I'm going to say a few minutes ago. ACC Championship, number 12 Clemson versus number 9 SMU. Because that Clemson's in the playoff picture at the moment. They weren't supposed to be, but thank God. Who lost? Somebody. No, never mind. Clemson lost. They're out of the playoff picture, so they lost to South Carolina on rivalry weekend. Remember that. What's going to happen? I'm taking SMU. Now SMU is also the favorite right now to win, but the line is 2.5. I'm taking SMU to cover. And look, I'm probably taking the over too. Probably going to be some guys. Look, Clemson, we know they have talent on the roster. They're a little bit unorganized. They kind of all over the place. They got a couple bad losses. Let me look. Actually, while I got their losses pulled up, I'm pulling up you can still see me, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got a loss to Louisville. SMU beat them already this year. They lost to South Carolina. That just happened. That wasn't good as well. And then they got a loss to Georgia. That's obviously that's explainable, but still 3 losses. It's not the same Clemson team. You know how them losses can pile up, especially mentally, especially with a team like that that's used to winning. That one might have had 4, and SMU was good too. SMU playing with something to prove. That Rhett Lashley got them going up there. Rhett Lashley been on a lot of good football teams lately, coaching them. In the past handful of years.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
There, SMU, the fans back. You think it's the 80s again? They're over there talking about spending money all again because that's their thing. They said if it was up to spending money, SMU football would have never got the death penalty, would have never even been in dire straits the way they've been in the past 2-3 decades. So give me them ponies and give me that over.
Let's get it.
I think they're going to come out balling over there in Charlotte.
He's feeling good about it, guys. Listen up. He might win you some money.
Might win some money. Yeah, any game you wouldn't touch. And you want me to read them off again?
Any game, is this college and NFL?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We can talk college. Yeah, college or NFL.
College or NFL, I would not touch Green Bay and Detroit because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that.
Detroit's playing great. Green Bay's not playing bad. I have no idea what's going to happen in that game.
That's Thursday night football, too.
Thursday night football prime time. I'm not touching it because I have no idea who's going to win.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me to put a bet on that game. Put it that way.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That one. What about I'm looking at some of these other games. Yeah, the NFL one. That's about the only NFL game like I'm probably interested in that I'm not going to touch.
Yeah, that's just I have no idea. It could go either way.
You probably got some prop bets in there that some guys can get their money. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But overall, yeah, I think that if I'm going to go back to college, that Georgia Texas, I ain't touching it. It could be a defensive shootout. It could be an offensive shootout. I don't know. And did you watch that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who is Georgia? I don't even know who Georgia is.
I don't know who Georgia is, and I don't know who their quarterback is. I know who their quarterback is, but I don't know which one's going to show up. Sometimes he might have, he goes like every other quarter. He might look like a NFL prospect, and then also he can look really bad in the same game. So I'm really not sure. I'm not touching that game either.
Did you see that 8 overtime game?
Oh yeah, I was tuned in. It was wild. Georgia Tech. It was crazy. It was crazy. That's why you can throw the records out the window. Georgia was supposed to, on paper, they were supposed to kill them. But Georgia Tech, it's a rivalry. Throw it out the window. Let's go 8 overtimes and may the best man win.
May the best man win.
Well, Georgia did win, but of course, 8 overtimes, it could have went either way.
Oh, that's any play. Heck, we talking about inches now.
We're talking about inches. Talking about inches.
Well, that's another riveting conversation. That's another episode of Ball N Biz. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully, we can help you put a little money in your pocket, whether that's on the streets, getting through business, or, if it's on these parlays and these picks. So hopefully we can do that, talk a little ball with you. Thanks for joining our conversation. We're just two guys trying to have fun with it. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jeremy.
That's Ball N Biz. See you next week.